I just got bullied by a vegan lady because I was eating at Chipotle and there was a girl sitting at the table next to me who had a dog with her. So I'm just enjoying my meal like usual, but then I accidentally drop a piece of chicken from my bowl onto the ground. And I didn't even notice I did this at first until this lady aggressively tapped on my shoulder. So I turned to her and said, "Hello?" Then she goes, "Can you please stop trying to feed my dog?" So I say, "What are you talking about?" Then she goes, "I saw you drop chicken on the ground for my dog to eat." But I was like, "Ma'am, if I dropped any food on the ground, Nobody talks about how embarrassing it is when you're hanging out with two people and your mutual friend leaves. Like, for some reason, I just completely forget how to talk when this happens. Because I was at the carnival with my friend one time, but his other friend, who I didn't really know, also came. And it was going fine until we got to the Ferris wheel. Because we were all gonna go on it together, but when we got to the front of the line, the worker told us there was only 2 people allowed per cart. So my friend was like, "Oh, well, I invited both of you guys." I got a DM yesterday asking why I'm lying about being American, so I replied to it saying, "What are you talking about? I am American." But then they said, "No, you clearly aren't." So I asked what makes them think that, and then they said I don't have an American accent. But I didn't even know what that meant, so I asked them what they thought an American accent sounded like, and they sent me a video of someone from New York. They thought since New York is in America and people over there talk differently, everyone in America talks like that. To all the non-Americans out there, trust me, most of us don't talk like we're in the Godfather movie.
One thing older people will never understand about Gen Z is how we can have 2 completely different conversations with each other at the same time on different apps. Because I was texting my mom on iMessage about how I just failed my math test, and she was like, "Tyler, I'm so disappointed in you." But then on another app, I saw a funny video of a cat biting their owner's leg, so I sent it to my mom, and I said, "This is totally something our cat would do, ha ha ha." But after I said that, my friend got hit by a car the other day, and you may not think that's funny, but it is due to how he reacted. Because he was riding a bicycle going super fast, but when he rode across an intersection, a car that was turning right didn't see him because of his speed and accidentally hit him. But the part that makes it funny is he broke his wrist. So I asked how bad it hurt when it happened, and he was like, "Honestly, I was in pain at first, but then I looked up and saw how many people were looking at me, and I just got super embarrassed and left." So I was like, "Wait, you left after getting hit by a car?" And he goes, "Yeah." So I was like, "Well, did you at least get the information of the person that hit you?" And he goes, "Nah, I didn't want anyone to see me because of how cringe I probably looked getting hit." But the most funny part is that his bike didn't even work anymore. So he just picked it up and jogged away with it. He's the only person I know who will not react to getting hit by a car just so people think he's nonchalant. You may have done something stupid today, but it wasn't as stupid as what my friend did. My friend was throwing a surprise party for his girlfriend that he's been dating for 6 months. Remember that. And he invited a bunch of their friends over. But when she got there, everyone jumped out and yelled, "Surprise!" But she was super confused. Why was she confused, you may ask? Well, you see, it turns out her birthday wasn't for another 3 months. How did my friend get her birthday that wrong, you may ask? Well, he never actually knew his girlfriend's birthday, but he thought he did. And it turns out that he mixed up his current girlfriend's birthday with his ex-girlfriend's birthday. And you know what the dumbest part was? He told her that. Why would you even admit that? Just don't talk. Don't say anything. There's nothing you can say that will make the situation better. But hey, I still had a free slice of cake, so it was a good day for me. I just got a call from a number I didn't recognize, so I didn't answer it at first, but then they left a voicemail saying, "Hello? Is this Tyler Vitelli?" So since they knew my name, I called them back, and once again, they go, "Hi, Tyler Vitelli?" And I say, "Yes, that's me." But then I got absolutely shocked because they go, "Hi, Tyler, I'm Catherine. Do you know anyone by the name of John?" I'm not gonna say his last name, but I did know this person. The John she was referring to is my friend. So I was like, "Yeah, I know John, why?" Then she told me that he put me down as a reference for a job he's applying to. So the lady asks if John has ever worked for me, and even though he definitely hasn't, I'm always gonna try to help my homies out, so I was like, "Yeah, he did." She goes, "Great. How was John as an employee?" Man, John was the best. Always showed up early, hardest working. Never answer the phone they put in hotel rooms. Cause I was staying at a hotel last week and it was really old, so I was already a little spooked. But around 1 a.m., while I'm sleeping, I get a call on the hotel phone. And I'm thinking to myself, who is calling in the middle of the night on the hotel phone? Cause you can only call those if you're in the hotel. So I knew it was someone else staying there. So I pick it up, but all I hear is breathing. So I say, "Hello, is anyone there?" But no response, just breathing. So I'm spooked and I hang up the phone, then go back to bed trying not to think about it anymore. Until about 5 minutes later, I get a call again. So I pick it up and say, "Is someone pranking me or something?" And finally, I hear a voice. So I say hello again, but they don't respond, which makes me hang up. But then a couple minutes later, someone knocks on my door. I just read this sign that says there's quicksand in the area, but I don't know where it's at. So does anyone know how I can find it? Anyone at all, please. Wait, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, you think you're having a bad day? Well, I just lost my wallet, but as I was freaking around looking for it, I walk into my hotel room and see that Nick put a piece of poop on my bed. What's going on? I'm gonna beat this game. Here we go. Moon, spoon, moon, moon, spoon, moon, spoon, spoon. Spoon, moon, balloon, balloon, spoon, moon, balloon, spoon. Oh, I feel like I'm an M. Moon, balloon, spoon, balloon. I give up. I just saw a guy with a phone that flashes when it gets a notification. So I asked him why it does that, and he told me it's because he has really bad eyesight. So I was like, oh, that makes sense.
But then I thought about it more when I got home, and that makes no sense at all. What does being blind have to do with feeling your phone vibrate? I just got a free burger from McDonald's because they had a special deal where if you buy one burger for the price of two, you get a second one for free. Wait, is there anything better than having a matcha while reading your book about women's rights? I don't think so. Oh, it's disgusting. I just dropped my wallet on my way to the women's rights protest, but I'm so nonchalant that I'm not even gonna bother picking it up. Did I also mention I'm a feminist and 6'5"? To all the people who call me stupid, I took a test at the doctor's yesterday, and it turns out I have more chromosomes than the average person. So how's that for stupid, huh? This tub of ice cream had a hole when I opened it, so I asked the Walmart employee why it was like this, but he just smiled and went, it gives it extra flavor. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. Did you know that if you're eating this chocolate, you're not supposed to snap it away from the bar? You're supposed to snap it towards the bar like this? Now I can eat it way more efficiently. I think someone is following behind me, so I'm gonna fake a phone call and hope that they leave me alone. Hey, Uncle Jerry, how's it going? Oh, do I have my knife in my pocket? Yeah, of course I do. Did I bring my grenades too? You know I don't leave the house without those, Jerry, come on. Did you know that if you put 2 grapes in between your lips, then you look like a goat? Ah! 2 years ago, my goldfish randomly disappeared, and I still think my cat ate it. I just found out my cousin runs a Roblox rant account, but what makes it so funny is this is his most recent video.
The Italian brain rot is literally on its last breath, like it's almost completely dead.
So you might think, Tyler, what is he, like 14 years old? No, he's 27. With a child! That's my inspiration, for real. I just asked a girl out for the first time today, and she said no because my breath smelled too bad. I'm never humiliating myself like that again. I don't care if I get canceled for saying this, but I don't really like Taylor Swift's music that much. Like, it's just not that... I'm just kidding. I love Taylor Swift, guys. She is so awesome, and she makes such good music, and I love her and her boyfriend. If I hit the coin, I'm chopped. If I hit the coin, I'm handsome. If I hit the coin, LeBron will go on a date with me. No! You can always tell when someone is rich because they do not act like normal people. Like, there was one rich person I grew up with, and one time we were talking to each other on a Friday, and I was like, do you have any plans for the weekend? And he was like, oh, well, I've really been craving my favorite restaurant lately, so we're probably gonna go there tomorrow. So I said, that's cool. What's the name of the restaurant? Money doesn't buy happiness has to be the worst quote ever created because it literally does. And it's always rich people saying it. They'll be like, my life was actually way better when I was poor. Oh yeah? Then give me your money! Like, if you miss being poor, then just give away your money. It's not hard to do. I do not care if I get insulted by a man or a woman, but if I get insulted by a kid, I want to cry because they do not lie. If they insult you, they said it because they truly believe it. Like, one time I was at the... What would you do if a little kid's mom tried to pepper spray you? Because that's what happened to me today. I was minding my own business, and then a little kid comes up to me and says, your shirt is ugly. And then he does a cartwheel as he walks. I had a teacher that passed away during the school year one time, and the next day, my friend's baby brother was born. But the weird thing was, his newborn brother would always do this movement with his pinky, which was the exact same thing our teacher would do. So my friend is convinced to this day that after our teacher passed away, he came back in the form of his baby brother. And I don't know what to believe. We really need to teach our parents how to use emojis correctly because my mom was just texting me about the fires that are happening in California, and I was saying how it's super sad because a lot of people lost their homes and some people even passed away. But in response to saying this, my mom sends me a message that says, yeah, apparently over 20 people have already passed away from the fire. But that wasn't the end of the message. You know what she sent right after that? 3 emojis, and it was the fire emoji, the skull emoji, and the freaky ghost emoji that sticks its tongue out. The emojis literally made it sound like nobody talks about the difference between how the oldest child gets punished versus the youngest. Because if you're the oldest and you misbehave, you're basically getting put in a max security prison. Your parents ain't letting you do anything. No phone, no hanging out with friends, no air. I remember one time when my older brother got in trouble, my mom said he was grounded till he was 18. He was 12 when this happened, by the way. But for the youngest children, it's completely different. Because I'm the youngest sibling in my family, and whenever I would do something wrong, my mom would be like, that's it, give me your phone, I'm taking it away. But my parents' problem is, they can never remember names. So whenever I say I'm going to hang out with my friends, they ask which ones, and I say, Jaden, and they say, is that the Asian one? Yes, Mom, he does happen to be Asian. But here's the other issue. I have a couple friends who happen to be Asian, so asking if he's Asian isn't enough to know who it is. So after they ask that question, they say,